we provide space beneath your feet, basically. That's what we are. We do basement conversions, we build new build basements, and we do subterranean rooms.
Since retreat rooms have converted the basement, it's just fantastic.
Having the conversions absolutely changed the way we use the house.
It's all finished to a really high standard, everything looks fantastic.
We're one of the few companies that provides everything, right from the architect, the structural engineer, right through to the last lick of paint on your walls. A typical job might take 8 weeks, and we'll project manage that all the way through from day one. And we take care of all the building regulations and architectural services, structural engineers, everything. We have all that under our umbrella.
It was all really well organised, everything went forward really smoothly.
I've personally been in basements for over 15 years.
Retreat rooms were fantastic. They were very professional.
We pride ourselves on our quality of our work. It's second to none.
Darren seemed to just have solutions for everything.
It's a fantastic feeling to see somebody so happy when we finish a job and say, yeah, wow, we're glad we've had you into the work, and it's a nice feeling. It's improving rather than moving. It generally works out cheaper to improve your house and give you more floor space. 95% of people I'm dealing with just like where they are, but they just run out of space. So that's what we do. We then give them extra space they require.
I'm still grinning from it, and I think we're sort of 2-3 months down the line now from it being completed. It's
all about realising the potential beneath your feet.
Since retreat rooms have converted the basement, it's just fantastic. It's really completely changed how we live with the children. Children come down here first thing in the morning and would stay down here all day if they could. They've got loads and loads of space, so they keep all their toys down here and the TVs down here, and they just spend all their time down here. And then in the evenings when they're in bed, we come down because it's so much more comfortable down here than our lounge upstairs, that we just come down here. It's nice and warm and cosy. Because it's all insulated as part of the waterproofing process, that's actually quite a good sound barrier as well. So we're always a bit worried about the neighbours with the children, but of course when they're down here nobody hears anything at all. We have 4 children between 8 and 18 months, and they create quite a lot of noise, particularly when they've got friends around. I guess we might have considered moving, but as the family size has increased, but now, we wouldn't need to really. To have this amount of space to buy a house, I mean, it's certainly quite expensive around here, so that wouldn't be something that we would be doing. Whenever we came down, we kept saying, well, it's such a lot of space down here, if you could knock a few walls down, but we never actually really thought about doing anything about it until we came across retreat rooms, who then came round and said, well, actually, yeah, you could make it into quite a big space. But we hadn't realised that we could do quite such a big job to change things so dramatically. This was just like old cellars, so it's quite damp. Part of it was just rooms full of very thick mud. Retreat rooms were fantastic. They were very professional. The guys were incredibly polite and incredibly good at what they were doing. I don't quite know how they did it, but they managed to transport all this mud and rubbish and all the bricks from the walls that they knocked down and chuck it in skips outside, and it was incredibly non-disruptive. I was expecting complete chaos, but it wasn't like that at all. They were amazing.
It's just fantastic now. When you come back from work and I open the door and walk down the stairs, I'm still grinning from it, and I think we're sort of 2-3 months down the line now from it being completed. Having the conversions absolutely changed the way we use the house. We used to spend all of our time upstairs in the kitchen. It was the only part that looked out over the garden, and had a very small lounge. We spend all of our time down here. It's underfloor heating, so it's just consistently a nice temperature. It's fantastic. My husband and I are just starting a family, so we needed some more space. When we bought the house, we fell in love with the woods that it backs onto, but the design of the house and the fact it's built into a hill means actually we didn't have any rooms that overlooked the garden. We spent a lot of time building the garden up to how we wanted, so we wanted to convert the basement to maximise the outside space and to get bigger lounge space. And we effectively added 50% onto the house again. We had several different companies come round, and I think Darren and Retreat Rooms gave us the most confidence. Lots of the other guys told us what we couldn't do, why I couldn't have the things I wanted, and Darren seemed to just have solutions for everything. What we've got as a result of the conversion is a big main lounge that backs out onto the garden, a bathroom and shower room, a utility room to put our washing machine, tumble dryer and store all your mops and buckets and hoovers in there, a storage room for all my husband Ian's tools, and then at the back there's a big room which is going to be a bedroom stroke playroom. We've gained a couple of good storage rooms now, and the hoover doesn't have to live in the hallway anywhere, it's got a home. Yeah, so it's changed the way we live upstairs as well as downstairs, and it's also freed up one of our bedrooms upstairs to have as a nursery now rather than a guest room. Darren and the guys filled us with confidence when they came round and gave the quote, and we didn't lose that confidence all the way through the process. They're happy to answer questions, to change a little bit. So with some issues where we had to realign a couple of rooms because of drainage issues. I remember Dave calling me and saying, "Oh, we've got a small problem," and I kind of panicked. But by the time I got back, he'd mapped out exactly where the new walls were going and kind of solved this problem for me. So took it all out of my hands. So yeah, start to finish, it's been absolutely great. And I know if I still had an issue, the guys would come out and resolve any issues that we found. It's a really, really nice space, and everyone who's been round to visit us has commented on sort of what a great space, and almost why had nobody done it before. I think also our neighbours are all quite envious.
It's brilliant. I mean, really, really happy with it. It's all finished to a really high standard. Everything looks fantastic. It seemed really, really complicated to get your own architect in and get everybody separate in. It just seemed like much too much work, and I worked really, really hard, and it just didn't seem like it was an option after looking at that. So when we found Retreat Rooms, that was they seemed to be able to take care of everything. They had a really good website, and we gave them a call, spoke through what we wanted with them, and then they came around and gave us a quote. Well, before this was just a damp cellar. It had a washing machine in it and just storage. We just wanted some more space, really. It didn't seem like the best idea to move, and for the kind of similar amount of money, we could do the cellar and get some more space in the house that we were in already. It was all really well organised. Everything went forward really smoothly. Every time that we had a problem, we called up, and it was dealt with straight away. And everything was well communicated the whole way through, so it was a really, really good service. Now we've got kind of like a TV room in here, we've got a shower room with a laundry room, and we've got a storage room as well here. I'm really, really pleased with it. We use it all the time. Really, really happy with it, and yeah, really, really pleased. Having this extra room has made a massive difference. Just gives the space to spread out a little bit more and have a bit more kind of space to do things.